right, friend. What we going by tonight?
Well, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Daniqua, your original boss lady.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna call you boss lady for short.
Period.
Okay, boss lady, put your right hand up and your left hand on your word, wherever you decide your word is.
My word everywhere.
I'm cracking up. Just you gotta hold it there though.
For why?
You
We taking an oath?
Yes, we are.
Oh.
There you go. Hold it there. All right. Do you solemnly agree we have permission to post this across all of our social media platforms?
Yes.
Is there anything, and I do mean anything, that's off limits you don't want us to ask you about?
You can ask me about anything.
If we do ask you something that's off limits, do you understand you can tell us no, or I want to move on, or let's pass?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's get it.
All right, let's go.
Okay, literally, there's no pressure. I'm your host, Bangum Bug.
It's your girl, Just K for real.
And it's your girl, Daniqua, your original boss lady.
Yes.
I had to cut them off. I wanted to be a part of y'all.
I know,
Is
that's
that
right.
okay?
Okay, good.
You made it.
It's your interview. I let people do their thing. So, tell everybody where you originally from.
I'm originally from Hollywood, Florida.
Oh, cool.
And did you grow up both your parents?
My mom died when I was 8. My dad died when I was 17.
And so who you was in foster care? You went with grandparents?
I lived. I mean, I lived in my car. I lived, with, shout out to my friend Poppy and his sister Mama Brenda. I stayed with them for a good little minute. My last, year in high school.
You bilingual?
I'm Bahamian mixed with black, mixed with Indian, mixed with all kinds of stuff, girl.
You speak 2 languages
I speak one language, and that is English.
now? Okay.
My stepmama Puerto Rican, so I can talk a little bit of Spanish, but I'm strictly an English speaker.
So I worked with a guy. He was Bohemian, but he only used it when he talked to his girl or his kids. So that's kind of how you do it.
I only use it when I talk to my Aunt Sheila or certain people, because to be honest with you, if you're not Bahamian, you're gonna be looking at us like we crazy.
No, I love that accent.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got lots of fun.
Some people be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I be like, all right. So I just talk regular. I try to.
Yeah.
Okay, and so you got kids?
Yeah, I got kids.
How many? Yeah.
I have 3 kids. Why you jumping right into the kids thing?
I'm just conversating. You don't want to talk about the kids? You can say, hey, I don't want to talk about the kids.
Yeah, I have 3 kids.
All about the same guy?
All by the same guy.
That's what's up. Okay, I was just wondering, get that idea. Okay, so give me your best life lesson so far.
Slow down. Because I used to move fast. You get where I'm going, to try to get a lot of things done. And you can be a jack of all trades and a master at nothing all at the same time if you don't take time to focus on one thing at a time. And I would do a lot and then be like, oh crap, wait a minute, but I have stepped on this, I gotta go back. If you do it right the first time, you'll never have to go back.
Okay, so it was the going back part that made you say, okay, I need to slow down.
Yeah, because if I gotta go back and fix it, then I put all that energy into it, and it's just better to take my time. Yeah.
Okay, so with you being this boss lady, so is your husband, is he like an alpha male, or you consider him beta?
Don't be doing my husband.
Because usually alphas don't mess with women who consider themselves boss.
Okay, so my husband, he's Boss Man 365. So you'll always see me do hashtags, Boss Lady 365, Boss Man 365, because, for example, our company that we're building is for our kids anyway, to pass down to them. Shout out to JJ's Toys and More Party Rentals. We service the metro area. He's not really an alpha male. He's more of an observer and an understanding individual that's really, really patient.
So what's the in between?
I mean, we can give him the in between, because every now and then he'll put his foot down and be like, it is what it is, and I just be like, all right, But there's a little, tougher there is supposed to be.
Okay, so he ain't just a walkover.
Nah, you ain't walking over him.
I guess
He would.
I guess I wouldn't consider that beta if a nigga who stand up. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just
Well, I wouldn't want to be with nobody that's you get where I'm going? And people think that because he's prior military, he's, used to be in the Marines. They think that he's like that. And he's really, truly not. He's really a calm person. He just be relaxing,
What's give me the toughest part of your relationship when y'all was dating, and the toughest part married so far?
When we were dating, he was really never home because he was on recruiting duty, and then from there he just was always working because the military does, ask a lot of you. Shout out to the government, we love you, but I mean, they work long hours. They're never really home. They're always coming and going. So that was kind of tough, especially when you're having kids and you're like, hey, I gotta go to the doctor's appointment, but oh, you can't come because you're working or you're busy, whatever. You're in Afghanistan, so if a child is sick, it's all me. So yeah, that. Now, as far as with marriage and us being together, I mean, I think we do pretty good. We work well together because, like I said, we own our family-owned and operated business, so we're in constant communication. Now, is there hits every now and then? Yeah, because we're working together and we do everything together, but for the most part, we're pretty good.
Okay, and what you think about like now today, like police officers, like firemen, military guys, they kind of seem as like lame. And like, when I was younger, like my mom used to be like them, like the best kind of men to like get with and marry. But now today, they looked at as like lame and stuff like that because they don't make enough money.
I mean, they actually make a lot of money. They actually make a lot of money.
What's a lot of money to you?
A lot of money. More than a person at McDonald's making, more than a person that even works at the bank, depending on how long they've been in the military. You get where I'm going? So, I mean, I think you're using the money, you're using monetary as the issue, or just saying that they're lame there, or you've heard that, but I think people sometimes stereotype them as lame because they don't like to get in a lot of trouble. Because they lived a structured life when they were in the military. You get where I'm going? And it was a lot of things that they just weren't allowed to do. So, you get where I'm going? So there's a lot of things that you would take risks and do that they wouldn't even bother. You get where I'm going? So I think that's what that is.
It seems like it's money. Like
It's not.
Would like prefer to date
The average military person, like at 19, can go and get a loan on a house. They use their VA loan. They don't have to put anything down, and they can get a $200,000 house. Versus you can work at McDonald's for like 2, 4, 5, 6, 10 years and can't put down. They won't apply. They won't give you a loan.
It's loans for it. It's rural development loans. You don't have
I guess, friend.
It's all kind of shit.
But no, I think if
There's information about a lot of stuff.
It's financial security, and they have it. They have a constant check coming in on the 1st and the 15th, and then when they're retired, every 1st of the month. Like, the government banks, they see that they're going to get paid, so they have no problem with giving an 18, 19-year-old that just came in the military a house, a car, whatever they want. You get where I'm going? Because they know that they're going to get their money. And what the government normally does, too, I don't know if they still do this, so I don't want to quote, I'm going to just say allegedly, is oftentimes if you renege on one of your payments for your car, they let your upline know, your lieutenant and all of them, they get on you, and oftentimes they'll just take that stipend out your pay. So you're going to pay your bills. You get where I'm going?
I think that takes a sense of understanding. Like, females that you're probably referring to who would think they lame is, like you said, somebody who want to scam her. So they're not thinking, oh, well, if I get a home, that they can get this type of loan and stuff like that. They just, like we see
it's like that fast money, what you
the
get.
flashy type. Everybody want to be a bad bee and all this extra stuff. So.
Yeah, and that to me, I'm ready for that era to end. The bad bitch era.
Mm-hmm.
Please, let's just move past it.
The
Let's
men,
move
the
past
men and the
material
women
things
keep it
right
going.
now.
Yeah, the men and the women keep it going though. Like, men complain about it, but at the same time they fuel it by trying to be that person that can get the bad beat. And then the women, they just feel it because the men letting it happen for real. The men was really like, I don't care. Like
I don't care if your booty fat. and your
Yeah,
stomach
exactly.
flat. How is your brain? What's your brain look like?
What are you bringing to the table? We were talking about that in the conversation earlier. My dad and my uncle, they were like, sometimes I don't have sex with somebody because I know I'm worth more. And I'm like, oh, men out here are not thinking like that. They try to be the quickest one to get to the next one.
Yeah. You'll have a conversation with a dude and you'll kind of know right off. Like, if they get uninterested real fast, like when you start talking on some real shit, like you really got yourself together, it becomes a big issue. Because I know a lot of men feel like women should never have an opinion. You get where I'm going? But I'm a dominant figure. Excuse me?
It's not too much.
What's too much?
What's too much of an opinion?
Just, I guess if I ask you to do something, it's like a comeback for everything I say. Like, you just gotta know every detail of what I'm asking you to do or why, and just sometimes just do the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have that issue in your life right now?
Nah.
Have you had that issue with any relationships you've been in with it? I'm just really truly asking.
Yeah, I mean, I done had women like, you could be like, hey, park close to the door. Why you want me to park close to the? It's just like, bro, it's for safety, but just every single thing I ask you to do, you don't have to ask why and have a comeback and. You know what I'm saying? Just
oh, so you are alpha male. You like to be in charge, and you don't really want to be questioned. Are you a cheater? Do you cheat when you're in relationships?
Usually I don't have time, but you know what I'm saying. Because I work a lot. You know what I'm saying?
But would you
cheat in a relationship?
If it's an understanding.
Have you cheated when you were in relationships? I'm just really truly. You don't got to say whoever you cheated on. I'm just asking. Have you ever?
Yeah. But mostly it's like not when I'm staying with somebody.
When you look at a beautiful woman, do you automatically assume that she's a cheater just because she's beautiful?
Most women are hoes though.
Oh, okay.
I ain't never met a fake woman. Except my mom and Kate.
I noticed because you asked me was all my kids my husbands, and I'm like, of course they are. But I mean, men ask that because nowadays women are whores. Like they sleep around, and especially in this industry, I'm not saying this industry is full of whores, allegedly. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there are women, regular, everyday women that cheat often. But you know what? Men cheat too. Did you know that? And they cheat with their eyes, their mind, their ping-pings.
Cheating is just looking at somebody?
Looking.
Lusting.
Talking on the phone, texting, flirting. All that's cheating.
So, okay, so you allowed to have male friends?
I'm allowed to have male friends that I'm networking with and doing music with. I don't care, and all of them meet my husband. I'm quick to FaceTime my husband. I'm quick to even invite my husband because I don't have anything to hide. I'm not interested. You get where I'm going? My dad died of AIDS. That's something that I don't share often. He got it from some chick that he was messing with. I don't know her very well. Because he used to go out a lot and he was never really home like that. So I kind of raised myself even when he was alive. So I love my dad, but it's just what it is. So that's why I don't care to cheat. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm not trying to be out here catching anything. And you'll tell me all day you ain't got nothing, I'm not interested. And not only that, I love my husband and I love my life. I'm just happy where I'm at.
You don't hardly see that though. It's like rare. Like you don't really see that.
I think it depends on what you put on your timeline. Like you follow the right hashtags, you can see Black.
I'm just saying, I ain't talking about the end. I ain't talking about it. I'm just saying like me working with guys and meeting people. Like when they talk, because when you trucking, like guys, if you sitting in the truck with a guy, they'll tell you their whole life. So just being around people, like I don't really hear that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, you met one today because I have no time. But like I said, I'm more of a networking kind of person. You get what I'm going? So when I have my listening party and stuff like that, I'll be like, hey, could ARS Atlanta, like, could y'all pull up? You know what I'm saying? Do a couple interviews, blah, 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 blah. I'm hitting his line because I got his number. If I had yours, I would call him. But if I got his, I'm going to hit him up. Or I'm going to give my husband a number. He going to call and set it all up. You get where I'm going? We work as a team. We got to get it done, you know?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about
some music stuff.
Go ahead, Kay. Actually, I'll let Kay take it.
I'm cracking up. Why you not just threw me out? I mean, let's get into you then. So typically we normally just dive into your life, right? So yeah, I could just do this on this spin. I guess get us into you as an artist. Like in a nutshell, I'm like, okay, I want to know what is it going to be given if I click on your Spotify page?
It's going to be giving some good music. It's definitely going to give music that holds substantial value in your life, and oftentimes you don't hear that on the radio. You don't hear that on the regular. You'll have to get that from certain artists, like Sade. You may get a little bit of that from Beyonce here and there on certain songs with women empowerment songs.
Okay.
Because my Boss Lady song, that's what that is. It's a woman's empowerment song, Ocean's Flow is more of a easy listening type vibe where you can meditate, yoga, do warm-ups too, if you're working out or whatever like that, can be a cool down or your warm-up type vibe. And also the words itself are self-expressive to where it encourages you, you know what I mean, to climb up out of a dark spot. So
So you've always used music to
It's my therapy.
empower.
It's my therapy. I need it. I need to be able to do it because it's my therapy. But most importantly, I'm trying to minister to people that are just like me that need someone to to just encourage them or motivate them or uplift them, like you say.
How did you find the mesh? So oftentimes when I'm trying to write, I say things normally that people are like vibing to, but then I'm like, dang, how do I make that a song? So how did you find the mesh between basically how you feel and what you want to say, and then making it into music?
Well, I started writing music, so I got to go back. I started writing music in middle school, but how I used to do it is in the format of poems. That's why my formatting, even when I sing on certain songs, are like kind of like, it's not like your typical song that you would hear, but I write poems. And I'm not afraid to say that I'm never going to write in perfect format because that's just not what I do. I write poems and I turn them into songs because that's the way that I'm able to articulate myself the best.
Okay. You feel like you a really like girly girl.
Yeah, but what you say?
You look like
I get down and dirty. I just said I own a party rental business. If you book the bounce house today, I'll be in your yard without this wig.
That'll make you not girly.
I mean, I'm a girly girl. I like pink and, you know, and all that stuff. But, you know, I played flag football, you know. I can get a little rough, you know. I'm down for it all.
So which emotion do you feel like drives you more than anything when it comes to creating?
Everything is based off emotion with me. Everything is based off emotion. I do suffer from anxiety. It's something that I just started openly talking about to people because I just don't care anymore. I used to be so scared to admit that because I'll go away for a while, you won't hear from me, then I just kind of come back, and that's just me dealing with me. You understand? So what drives me is really truly my emotions or things and people and situations that are happening around me. Like I got friends that really go through stuff. They'll talk to me. I'll be mentoring them. And then they turn around and mentor me. Next thing you know, I'm writing a song about the whole situation, but just not saying names and switching up the vibe a little. You know, just being very creative with the information that I take in or whatever I'm feeling.
So more so like a storyteller.
Yeah, storyteller. Yes,
I
ma'am.
like that.
I like that.
Right?
That's
I
right.
got you. What's your sign?
I'm a Sagittarius.
Hey, okay.
Do you like Sagittarius?
I'm a Leo. So
Oh yeah. Oh, we love you guys.
Yeah, I know.
We're compatible as far. I mean, I'm married, but I'm saying Leos.
I'm cracking up. No, we are like
Leos,
soulmates.
we're soulmates.
My best friend
Leos,
is a-
Aries, in which my husband's an Aries. That's how I knew
Yeah,
he was
Aries.
right. You're and
So
you got the nerve
that's work for
to be at
females too?
bud with, huh?
That works for female, the zodiac signs as far as
What?
compatibility?
It kind of does, yeah. Because honestly, whenever I read my horoscope, I really feel like they be knowing what the hell I'm going through that day.
Girl.
You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna say that it ain't all true.
Do you use a specific site?
No.
I use a specific site, and every time I use this site, it be spot on for multiple people.
Yeah, I don't know. And sometimes they just kind of like pop up. Ain't that something? Like when you're on Google, and I was like, yeah, they I need to do it.
Okay, I needed that word.
I don't even look at them.
You need to look. You gonna be like, I love her. She's a Sagittarius. She my sister. I'm gonna call her and be like, what's up, sis? Because I'm trying to tell you, Aries, Leos, and what is it? It's another sign where we're compatible. Sagittarius is we love you guys, and it's just a great blend. We'll fight and we'll argue, but we'll get along in the end. You'll love me and I'll love you. That's just how it goes.
What's give me I guess a song or like I guess a few bars that's like it means something that you wrote for like your husband and your kid.
It doesn't matter, baby, if you're rich or poor. Love has no limits, no peace at the door. It doesn't matter if you have less or more. Say, boy, hey, boy, I just want to love you for your strength and brains. Not what you provide and it don't mean a thing. Materials never meant much to me, but you mean everything. Oh, you mean everything. Oh, you mean everything.
Oh, that was pretty.
Yeah, you can sing too.
Yeah.
You thought I could sing?
A
We
lot
never
of people
know.
can't sing. Usually people who can't, they don't sing though. They don't do that.
Oh, you asked me to sing. I'm singing on the spot. I used to get kicked out of class in school for singing. My teacher be like, you ain't gonna be quiet. I'd be like, hoo. She was like, you gotta go. Oh, there's the dog. Like, I'm gonna be quiet. And then 10 minutes later, I was back at singing.
Okay, give me a I guess a memorable moment, I guess, like in school or besides to get kicked out of something?
Okay. After my dad died, my chorus teacher, shout out to Mr. Laurel Lampkin. He's the one that taught me opera, all of this stuff, how to read sheet music, everything. My chorus teacher took up a collection to be able to help me pay for food and my phone bill and my class, man. Shout out to all my classmates. I mean, they came through. $1 here, $2 there, whatever. Even Mr. Snyder, the band teacher, the band, like a lot of folks from the band helped me out too for a couple of months. Yeah. So that to me is everything.
So do you ever like try to reach back to like
Yes.
kids who
Yes.
might be going through that kind of stuff?
I always try to look, I don't know if I'm a troubled kid, Mag, or what. My daughter has like friends. You get where I'm going, but I used to be a Girl Scout troop leader too for 3 years in North Carolina. Shout out to Troop 402. But I don't know if I'm a magnet for troubled kids, but it's like kids just come to me and they're like, yeah, I'm going through it, and they just start talking, and then I immediately become the mentor or the mom figure. One of my daughter's friends actually has me in his phone as my second mom, and one wrote a rap, you know, and I didn't post it because I was like, it's for me. But he was like, you can post it. I was like, but it's for me. You know what I mean? And then just talking about how I encouraged to help him. His mother was very excited about that too, because when you have a child that's not doing well in school, or, you know, just don't listen at home, but he'll come over and help wash dishes and all that. It's kind of like we got the structure here, but there's no structure there because there's no father in the home. Now he's talking with my husband, and my husband's trying to help him and guide him. You know, like we became instant second parents, you know?
So do you get stories to where like from kids to where like you break down from it, like you can't really deal with it?
Yeah. That happened to me 2 Decembers ago. My daughter had a guy that his mom was going through something with the dad, and they needed somewhere to stay, and so we just let them stay with us. Of course, the kids, and we were taking care of them. It was like we adopted them, and they were a part of our family. So they saw me in the mornings when I woke up with no makeup and just looking a mess and everything, but it was good because they needed someone, they needed structure. They needed to feel a home because it was a lot going on. So yeah.
I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah, we've done it and time again. And my husband be like, honey, okay, let's just try not to do that. And I actually ran into the young man's mom the other day, and she's still doing the same stuff. Ain't nothing changed. But luckily he's with his grandma and auntie, and him and his sister now, so they were family to where they can really truly be properly taken care of. Because it was a tough ride. It was interesting. And dealing with that type of mother,
I remember it was a movie about that. This lady kept adopting kids, and then her husband was like, we can't afford it, and he finally just left because it was just too much. But
what was the most difficult part? The transition of the children, or just dealing with their mother at the same time?
I think it was dealing with their mom because they were very sweet, respectful kids. They would help clean up. They would help with my youngest. He's 6 now, but like, you know, they helped out. You know, played with them, and you know, just they were my kids, but not. I didn't give birth to them. You understand what I'm saying? Like they were just great kids, and got along well with my kids, all that. So.
Oh, she your daughter?
That's my daughter.
Oh, get
That's
out.
Nevaeh. Hi.
Hey, girl.
So, yeah.
I thought that was your assistant or something.
My daughter puts on my lashes. She helped me with my makeup. She helped me get dressed. I mean, I have other people on my team that help do stuff, but whenever I'm doing stuff like this, I wanted to definitely just, and plus I got studio time after this, so no. I don't need a whole bunch of people with me today.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess I'll do some more questions. Well, I guess we get them here. Okay, there was a tweet that said, I be like, I don't give a fuck, then my chest started hurting. So like, give me an example of like when you was acting like you didn't care, but really it was just like, it was getting to you.
I mean, when I had a situation, with people that I thought were my friends, I found out that they wasn't. That shit pissed me off because I spent 3 years being around these people that didn't care for me. I mean, it really felt like a divorce. You get where I'm going? I'm like, I don't even know what's going on here.
Is that hard to let people go?
I used to have a hard time letting folks go. Now I really be like, bye. I don't really got time. I really be like, bye. Because I just don't have time. I mean, if it's gonna interrupt my peace, I can't fuck with you. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, it took me a long time to get to where I'm at. I used to be the type of person I wouldn't even say how I truly felt because I didn't want to offend you. Now I'm like, look, you may be offending me, and if so, I'm gonna let you know. I don't care anymore.
Okay, give me a time where like your husband said something sweet and it made you cry, and the same for your kids.
He always says stuff sweet. I don't know. I'm always crying. I'm a cry person.
Your kids?
What?
Yeah, literally.
I was just crying right here. I cry a lot. I do.
I'm starting to get that way too.
Okay, give me I guess a unsupportive friend and family member, and how could they be more supportive?
You're something else with that question. I mean, everybody has an unsupportive friend or family member. I wouldn't call them out. It doesn't bother me that they don't support. You know, I don't care.
So what can they do to, I guess if they see this, what could they do to be more supportive to like what you're doing?
Keep doing what they're doing.
You don't care?
Keep doing what they're doing. Keep the same energy. Don't switch it up. You know what I mean? That's just it.
So if they did, would you receive it?
Yeah, but I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I think that we gotta start not holding people accountable for what we want for them to do
I just said that
to us, you know, or for us or whatever. Like,
everybody ain't you.
there you go. Everybody ain't me. I'm supportive. I'm supportive of friends, family. I'm supportive of y'all. I'm supportive of whomever I'll support. But everybody's not me. And I can't get mad at them for not being that way. I used to get mad at people for not being that way. But now I just don't care. I just like whatever.
So nobody couldn't just, because some people that just have like, I guess, an epiphany to where like, okay, I need to focus on my family and do right by them. So you just would be like, it's too late, kind of.
No, I mean, but at the end of the day, family is family. So I can be mad at you. I'm going to still love you at the same time. But it's no big deal. If you start supporting, great. But it's just not that big of a deal to me. Because if you weren't around doing it when I was starting out or whatever, it's like, whatever. I don't know.
What's a key, I guess, what am I trying to say, tip? What's a key tip for marriage? People who are married or looking to become married, what would you tell them?
Take your time and date. Take your time and date so you can make sure that the person that you're marrying is someone that you can see yourself with for the rest of your life. Because the Bible talks about you just sticking with your mate. You understand what I'm saying? And if you're a firm believer in God, you're a firm believer in His Word. So just learn your mate, understand your mate, all that stuff. Get to know them. Make sure that your traveling dreams are the same. He can't be talking about wanting to go overseas and hang out there in Europe every month. And you're like, I'm a homebody. I don't want to go anywhere. You get what I'm going? It's not a good mix. So you have to just find your good mix. You got to find that blending person.
Okay, and give me an example of how a man loves a woman correctly.
Being patient with her. Just being very patient. Because us women, we have the tendency of being very emotional and, all that stuff.
Okay, can give me something. What you got? Being love correctly.
I think it's the same, being patient, but listening.
Oh, yeah.
Listening and communication. I think communication can solve every issue, any and every issue.
Okay, we'll do one more. I want you to finish this. I prayed the hardest
when I was homeless because I really needed somewhere to stay. Period. For real. And God said, you know what? It's going to happen for you. And it did.
So when you be in the streets like that, are you one of them parents who will kick your kids out if they do wrong?
No, I threatened one time, I did, but I can't do that. That's not me. I cannot have my kid out there trying to figure out how to fend for themselves and take care of themselves. No.
Yeah,
Absolutely
I
not.
got that. They locked the doors.
Mm.
Then I climbed through the window. I came home the next day. They locked it. They nailed down the windows.
Mm.
Then I called the police. They was like, "We'll let you in every day, sir, because you established this your address, so she had to evict you." Then I just moved out like a few weeks later.
They said we'll let you in every day.
Yeah.
Would you say that that affected you, like how you are as far as with your relationships with women? Because it sounds
Nah,
like
I'm
your mom
close-
was
I'm
more
close with my
dominant.
mom. She like the smart one.
Hmm.
But no, I mean, she give me all the wisdom on females. Like she like my guide. She usually tell me when somebody ain't right for me. If I don't listen, in the end, I be like, "You was right, mom."
So what did you learn?
I mean, basically, yes.
To
That's what she
listen to
said.
your mom.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I guess we gonna wrap it up.
So, is there anything about you that we may have not touched on that our audience should definitely leave with?
No. Oh, well, one thing. I have a single coming out this summer. I can't wait for you guys to hear it. If you are going through anything at this moment in time and you are tuned in, I just want you to know that God has you covered.
Amen.
Oftentimes we feel so heavy, but you'll feel much lighter if you just give your problems to God.
Ooh.
Amen. That's all I got.
Amen.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Okay, literally, it's no pressure. We appreciate you coming, and we'll be right back with another guest.